Am I real? No one can fake this. Come on. I've actually never played this map before, so I'm just wandering around. Thank God they have these arrows. Follow the signage, my friends. Look, an arrow. That means I can go this way. Maybe someone will fact check me and point to like evidence that I've played this map before. I don't think I've played it, but maybe I have. Maybe I was like spaced out. Maybe this map is the best map I've ever never played. I don't think the red team knows how to shoot back. It's interesting. That guy's name is Better. Does anyone here remember PTR? I'm better than you. I'm better than you. Oh boy. This guy's offering me a 1-to-1 unusual trade. An unusual your worst nightmare. That's a heavy hat, isn't it? Or sniper hat? I think it's a sniper hat. Mine is worth 1.7 buds. I'm not a trader. I have no idea. I'm like text-to-speech for myself. What's my favorite hat? I've got kind of a sentimental value for an old unusual. An old unusual I used to have. It was a Burning Flames stovepipe. That was kind of my signature hat for a while. Ended up getting scammed out of it, which was unfortunate, but that was kind of when I got over the whole hat thing, getting scammed. It wasn't really a scam necessarily, but I consider it a scam. It was kind of my fault. I mean, of course, most scams are the person's fault, but yeah, it was my fault. And it wasn't really a scam either, so I don't know. I was upset. That's all. I lost it. Are you willing to trade that fortified compound? Oh my god. Wow. Wow, I'm bad. I should have killed that guy. Hello, cold pizza. You just missed the story? I didn't tell the story necessarily of how I lost the hat, if that's what you're asking. I can tell that story. Alright. Here's how I lost my favorite unusual hat, okay? Listen up. So Actually, I'll go all the way back to the beginning, okay? Unusual hats are added to the game. Shade, my teammate and medic and Froyotech visionary himself, he got into the trading game early. So he acquired some valuable hats at incredible prices. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna basically scam these people, but he was just playing the system, you know? People didn't know what they had. Shade was like, I'll take that off your hands, you know? So he acquired some unusuals early on. I'm sure you all have heard of people who did this sort of thing. Shade was one of those people. Him and I think Justin of old whatever, Invite Scout, that guy, from Watch This and such. Anyway, Shade acquires a hat for me. It's called a Burning Flames stovepipe, Demo Man hat. I was maining Demo, of course. The stovepipe was my favorite hat. Shade messaged me on Steam. He's like freaking out. He's like super excited. He's like, I got you the sickest hat ever. I'm like, oh, cool. I'll take it. So he just gives me the hat, you know, to borrow, I suppose, to borrow. He gives it to me, and I kind of did something very rude and immature, and I was like, you know, you gave it to me, I'm gonna hold on to it, even if you ask for it back. I'm just gonna hold on to it, kind of thing. So even when he was like begging me to give it back to him, I never gave it back to him, which is really silly of me, and I really shouldn't have done it. It's pretty immature. This was years ago. I wouldn't do it today. You can all trust me, I promise. Anyway, this is a long story, as you can tell, and I'm not necessarily a great storyteller, but I like to go into detail, so I'm just trying to set the scene. Anyway, so I acquire this hat. I wear it all the time. It's my favorite hat. Eventually comes a day when Shade's like, give me the hat back, And I'm like, nah. Just kind of fucking with him, but also kind of being immature. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to give it back to you. And he's like, alright, I'm going to steal it from you at LAN, because at LAN, you log onto the computers and your account's kind of open. People have done it before. So he's like, yeah, I'll just get it back from you at LAN. And he was kind of joking, but he's like, threatening at the same time. I didn't do anything about it. I-46, I think I had this hat, didn't protect my account. For whatever reason, actually, you know what? It might have been, yeah, it was I-46. This was that like time span. This event took place during Season 12 LAN, okay? So at Season 12 LAN, I'm like, you know what? I don't trust Shade for some reason. I'm gonna do something to ensure that I don't lose this unusual hat. Still being immature, of course. Shade deserves this hat. He gave it to me. It's just his hat. But anyway, I was like, I'm gonna hold on to this hat, and I'm gonna, protect it somehow. So what I do is, I talk to my little brother. Okay. My little brother is he's not into TF2. He's not necessarily a gamer at all. He's a casual, as I would describe it. I'm sure you all know Filthy Casuals. My brother, he was a casual. Plays Gary's Mod and shit. So, I give him the hat to hold on to. I'm like, hey, just hold on to this for me, okay? He doesn't, he's like, yeah, I'll do it. So I'm at LAN. And I'm playing. And playing at LAN, in the matches, whatever. I get a message from my brother, okay? He's like, this guy wants an unusual burning stovepipe. Is that valuable? Question mark. And then me not knowing that he's, completely ignorant of TF2, I'm like, I just typed to him, don't fuck me. I'm like, don't fuck around with that. Whatever, I'm like, don't fuck me over here, okay? So I should have said something more like, don't trade that hat under any circumstances, this is valuable, something like that. Anyways, so some guy apparently looked him up and was like, hey, I'll take that hat off of you. I'll give you some Steam games for it. So he's like, oh, being a casual-minded person, what are you gonna do when someone offers you video games for a virtual item that you don't even know what it is, So, in a way, it makes sense to take that deal. And he did take the deal, of course. He took the deal. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll take those 3 $5 Steam games for this unusual hat that, he didn't know, but you can trade it for, like, hundreds of dollars in TF2. But, he took the deal. And then when I came home from LAN, a few weeks had passed, I think. I had kind of forgotten about the hat. I didn't know that this had all happened. I'd forgotten about the hat. I came back home, and then I was like, oh yeah, that hat. I'll go talk to my brother. So I go to his room, and I ask him, hey, so what, can you give me that hat back? He's like, the hat? What are you talking about? Oh yeah, I gave you a unusual hat. Remember? And he's like, wait, I traded that away. I gave it away. Some guy asked for it, and he was gonna give me games for it. I was like, what? Like, my jaw dropped. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You did that? And I freaked out. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you've probably all experienced it, and honestly, is over TF2 items, so it's pretty silly that this happened. That I had that reaction. It's like, what the fuck? Are you serious? I was just like blown away that this happened. And then so anyway, yeah, he traded it away. I found out. I was like really upset. I was like, dude, you know that's so valuable and all that stuff. And then he tells me which games he got. He's like, but I got these games. He tells me which games he got. I already own all those games. I have them on my Steam account already. He could play them anytime on my Steam account. All he would have to do is say, hey, can I use your computer for a little bit, or can I log onto your account and play these games? It was like, I think the games, if I remember, was like Batman Arkham Asylum, Deus Ex, Human Revolution, stuff like that. Like, good games, but games that I already owned, you know? And they were like all on sale for like $10 or something at the time. It was just, that was really, that also made it so much worse. Jesus Christ. So, from that experience, I kind of learned to let go of the hats. You know, I had lost something that wasn't ever really mine. I had no reason to feel entitled to it, no reason to feel that attached to it anyway, but I was. But through that experience, I managed to get over the unusuals. And so now I don't really care about hats. Honestly, they're nice, but I ended up having a guy who was a fan, sort of, and he was into trading, and he's like, hey man, I'll let you borrow some unusual hats. I was like, you know what, I'll wear them, but the moment he asks for them back, I'll trade them back, because I learned from the experience not to fuck around with things. See, in a way, I fucked over Shade, you know? That's really what happened. I fucked over Shade. My brother fucked me over, but I fucked over Shade, you know? So I became a better person from this experience. I realized not to fuck around with other people's things that are valuable, and to show them some respect, you know? If they ask for their own thing back, give it back to them, you know? Don't play games. And also I got over hats. So, yeah, that was my unusual hat story. My nostalgia for my old favorite hat that I no longer have. That scout is so fucking laggy, but I bet he doesn't even see any lag on his screen. Yeah, you can share games between accounts. I actually tried to do that. I added a couple people to my shared family thing, but I don't think it worked. I don't know if they need to verify it or authorize it or something. Falling asleep to my stories. Well, I never claimed to be a storyteller. I never claimed to be interesting. I just had a story to tell, and this is my forum to tell it, so you were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Unless you wanted to fall asleep, in which case you're welcome. And have a good night.